Welcome to the bold analysis. 90 days to the much-awaited Addis Ababa vote on the next chairperson of African Union Commission. Raila Odinga is regretting the deal with the president. The puzzle of how Ruto dreamed him are crafting Raila Odinga's downfall in Addis Ababa in February is a clearest indication that Nairobi diplomatic team are secretly supporting the Djibouti candidate. I will give you a chilling account on the concerns that have been raised on the conduct of that campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you one assignment that we will do at some point. That take a minute and visit the website of the Djibouti candidate, Mohamud, and his social media account, and try to track his campaign. Then compare that with Raila Odinga. So even before I give you, before even delve deep in this analysis, you can yourself, casually, you can make an informed opinion on the Nairobi diplomatic team that are running Raila Odinga's campaign. The barter trade that Raila was involved in, that support my candidature, then we also have that broad-based. That barter trade, the loser, I am convinced, is Raila Odinga. But let me update you. Today we are finishing Nyandarua Elderly Mission. So far, we were building 3 houses. This is the first house. This is the house for Mzee. As by the time on Tuesday evening, when I was shooting this video, they were just finalizing. So what was remaining, that house was actually 90% done. What was remaining in that house, fundi alikuwa anaweka mlango na the dirishas, and then today they were finishing on the floor and the other part of the wall. So I want to say thank you, because that was the house number 1. That was a house for Mzee. The second house is one that was very close to my heart, Penaina Nyambura. Yeah, so Penaina Nyambura, hii nyumba, by the way, it's one that really warmed my heart, because yeye amekaa kwa hiyo shamba na nyumba yake alijengewa moja na ilienda na maji. So he had some makeshift kakona hapo. Then the grandchildren wamejenga hapo around, just around the same place. Remember, they're in a squatter. So apparently she's a squatter in the same place because anaendaga kuishi kwa nyumba ya mjukuu. Na huyo mjukuu hayuko. So when that mjukuu comes, she often feels shy kulala now, and she has to go back kwa jikoni. Now, this house we've built her, ataenda kulala hapo and uninterrupted. Whether wale shosho amekuja, wale mjukuu amekuja or no, that is going to be happy. And she was so happy. I just want you to, just like get a snippet from her. Hello guys.
Mungu amubariki sana.
Umefurahi?
Nafurahi sana.
Tunashukuru Mungu sana.
Mungu asaidie mimi, nishishi. Amusaidia kabisa.
Tuliambiwa nyumba uende utalala peke yako. Uende utalala huko sasa.
Italala tu mzuri.
Yeah, so guys, this is the second house. We've already done the backing and the structure. The fundis were... Yes, so Shosha is interrupting because she's saying thank you. Bariki kwa Kikuyu?
Muradimu
Saidi
na mokeo matukonegai.
Ongezwa miaka na Mungu.
Anatuongeza miaka na Mungu. Asante sana.
Nafanya kazi nzuri.
Asante sana. Na Mungu pia Mungu akuongezee pia hizi miaka zisonge.
Ndio.
So Penaina Nyambura, I really felt, and I understood some few words here and there. Now the last house is the one we started very late, kwa sababu tulifaa to concentrate na zile zingine. Now this one is where we were having a deficit because mabati, like you can see, those are just logs. So that tuko tumebay mabati that's supposed to be round. We are supposed to do the drisha and the mlango, the floor, so that we can finish that. As I'm shooting this video at 8, yes, at 8, I think the only amount I need to finish that house is 20,000. Yes.
Asikanishi mkubwa sana.
Darani kama odoe nikyo ajira ndugame haha njokie ngatho ciake twina gikeno kiingi muno twina brother haha na ya murehete guku ngai amurathime ni twina muguthi na mbere na guturekereria murathimo ni ngai muno na mutikanage mbarikiwe sana 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 atore kukumbuka mbarikiwe sana ampenda Mungu ambariki sana sana.
And I must finish that house today. This day, today, on Thursday, huku ni baridi. Hey. But hakuna mosquito. Yeah, but I've enjoyed the mountain. I've really enjoyed staying here. So today, I think Jioni, I'll be able to travel back to Nairobi. So that is the only deficit. I think that's the only amount remaining in that house. Ili tuweke kwa sababu uko zile zingine ziko na steam, and I really thank God that huku MP, I think I'm told when Amos Kimunya was here, really did steamer. So hiyo nyumba hii ya Penina pekee ndiyo haina stima. So I was really advised kwamba tukipata small token tutaenda kuweka. So I think that will also be enough for me awekewe stima hapo, just like the other houses. Zile zingine itakuwa rahisi, but hiyo yake inatoka at least from another place to ingia hapo. And I found that was really, really important. So thank you guys. Let me get deep into this analysis, but let's start with this story by Kenyan.
With only 3 months to go until the Africa Union Commission chairmanship elections in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, lobbying is in high gear as candidates rally for support among member states. The position will become vacant in February 2025 as current chairperson Musa Faki completes his 2 terms in office. 4 candidates have emerged in the race: Raila Odinga from Kenya, Mohamud Yusuf from Djibouti, Anil Gayan from Mauritius, and Richard Randemandrato from Madagascar. Raila Odinga has already secured endorsements from the East African community and Somalia, adding momentum to his campaign. Odinga launched his bid in August in Nairobi, attended by prominent figures including Kenyan President William Ruto, Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, South Sudanese President Salva Kiir, and Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu, as well as former Presidents Olusegun Obasanjo of Nigeria and Jakaya Kikwete of Tanzania.
I'm ready to serve. My heart is ready and my hands are steady, and with your support, I shall get the opportunity to be of service to Africa.
However, Odinga faces significant competition from Djibouti's former Foreign Affairs Minister Mohamud Yusuf, who has received endorsement from the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, a body with 27 African member states. Many believe this backing could give Yusuf a considerable advantage. Despite the mounting pressure, pundits say Odinga's recent lobbying efforts lack visibility. His last major effort was during a recent trip to Beijing with President Ruto, where they met with 6 African heads of state. The two met Presidents Paul Kagame of Rwanda, Assimi Goita of Mali, Faou Esozima of Togo, Umaro Sisoko of Guinea-Bissau, Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia, and Chad's Mahamat Idris to garner support for Odinga's bid. As the February election draws closer, alliances and diplomatic maneuvers are setting the stage for a closely contested vote. Phoenix, Oluoch, KTN News.
Since the launch in August, when it was launched, since the launch in August, when Raila Odinga's campaign was launched in August, there were 3 events that happened in September. And both of them, I'm yet to see Raila Odinga making an independent push. After that launch in August, that was attended by few African presidents, including Museveni, in September, Raila flew with Ruto to China, some Beijing summit, and apparently met some few West African presidents there. with only us being shown a story that I have campaigned for Raila, blah, blah. Then after that, they came back, and then Raila flew with the president to Germany. Attended another event, Germany. Those events are in Europe. Then again, he came back and went with the, I think from Germany, they went to the US, to New York, United Nations General Assembly. Now, all those events are all outside Africa. Remember, I know that because of geopolitics and geopolitical interests in that post, I know that our colonizers also have a say. They can always try to lobby, yes. But the bottom line here is this. The voters are in the continent because the voters are the African presidents. Since August, Raila Odinga is yet to meet an African president in the African soil. Yes. Outside Kenya. Is yet, show me one. You can't see any. If you look at Djibouti candidate, hey, I'm telling you, go and check. Just go and check. Taki kumpaka mafuta. Go and check. The gentleman has been traversing the continent. And that has really raised a question around it. Now today is 30th of October. In this month of October, go and check Raila Odinga's Facebook page. There is no single post about Raila Odinga's AUC. There is no single event that Raila Odinga has. There is no single president, African president, that Raila Odinga has met on that. And there is no effort, single effort by the Nairobi diplomatic team that are campaigning for Raila on this. I tried. I think this is one of the analyses that I've been working on for some time. So I tried asking around just some other media practitioners what exactly is happening in these corridors. And there is a few observations that are being made that the state campaign team, remember that campaign team that was formed? It was a blend of government side and Raila Odinga's side. That team has failed to communicate and coordinate with Raila Odinga's circle as far as that campaign is concerned. I don't want to be trivial here, but I want to be very objective. That Raila Odinga's campaign, when it comes to any campaign, I'm afraid the campaign, the campaign dirt and the unhygiene, let me not use the word unhygiene, I think the campaign confusion that has always been at times witnessed when he is seeking local political seats, that confusion is being exported in that position. And there is nothing new about it. William Bruce is just doing what Raila has been doing. And let me just give you a good example. In this October, that's the only event I remember. During whose birthday? Oduor Odinga, the senior orphan birthday, my senator's birthday. Raila flew to Addis Ababa for the launch of Addis Ababa Tower. Something. Do you know that he went with his brother Oduor? Do you know that? And do you know that the diplomatic in Addis Ababa were not so much into it? There was a campaign front for Raila Odinga on ambassadors, the African ambassadors, those ambassadors in those countries, to campaign and to plan a meeting, the host presidents. They're the ones that to coordinate with the Nairobi team so that they can plan trips for Raila Odinga there. No single photo of an ambassador in an African country that I've shown. I met so and so, even a foreign affairs minister of nothing. Go and check the Djibouti candidate. You'll find one of the ministers there, I think he's in charge of finance or something, is the one coordinating those campaigns. You're gonna check. I don't want to market that candidate. Recently, Somali president visited this country, Kenya. He was received at the airport by Adan Duale. That is a president of a country. Raila Odinga was supposed to be in the picture because Somalia is one of the countries that is also going to vote. Somalia had a candidate. They allegedly told the country that their candidate is backing Raila Odinga. But there is a caucus of Muslim nations that endorsed the Djibouti candidate in Cameroon somewhere in July. Now, one of the ways that the Kenya team would work around it is if they can, they can persuade the Somalia candidate. How can you tell us that probably they were campaigning for Raila on that and you never saw Raila in the picture? In fact, Raila's team are confiding that there was no any meeting between Raila and the visiting Somalia candidate. Recently, the former president Uhuru Kenyatta was in West Africa, was in Cote d'Ivoire, and then attended the inaugural, was a guest speaker to give a lecture on graduation of some military personnel on National Defense College in Nigeria. I've been reliably informed that Uhuru Kenyatta has been willing to support and campaign for Raila. But not so long ago, that when these invitations come and facilitation was being done, Raila Odinga's team, and even Raila Odinga personally, was supposed to be part of it. The Cote d'Ivoire. They tag along the former president and they will use the platform. Probably he would actually use Uhuru Kenyatta's network, to use that network so that he can campaign. But that could also not have happened because Uhuru also allegedly might have declined. Remember, the relationship between President Raila, former President Uhuru and Raila is not really in public as being in good terms. Not begrudging anyone, but not really as it was some years back. Now, Raila has an option of walking out of that contest. I think if you ask me, his team are thinking could be out. It's not far-fetched for him to walk out of that contest. So he's been kept aloof. There was African tour, for him to tour the African presidents, visit and make those. Do you remember immediately after 2022 election, Moses Kuria used to meet African presidents and Kenya, and people were asking, oh, is Kuria being groomed as the next deputy? People were asking. So it's not something difficult. Raila Odinga is yet to do that. Now, there's some political developments I want us to look at here, just at the time that this campaign is going on. But before you look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Before you look at this 3, I think that's just 3. Before you look at these 4 political developments on this, I still just want to remind you about the granny we're doing in Nyandarua. We are finishing today. The deficit is only 20,000. Tutakuwa tumemaliza. And I'll be so glad and I'm so happy that we are still around it and we are supporting it and it's a reality. And I really thank God for the good support from you. Raila Odinga recently supported Adani Dale against the public backlash that set him against the public. Let's listen in.
You see, there have been quite a bit of innuendos about Adani. And I've explained that this is a reputable company, by my knowledge. And this company actually has done very many PPP projects. I mentioned that we visited India at the invitation of then Chief Minister of State of Gujarat, Narendra Modi. And he introduced us to several Indian conglomerates. Adani was one of them. One was Mr. Ratan Tata, who was also there at the conference that we attended. And then we visited a project that was done through a PPP by Adani in a place called Mundra. This was a marsh land next to the sea, 5,000 hectares of land, which was granted to the Adanis by the government of Mr. Modi. They drained the swamp and constructed a deep sea port to import coal from Indonesia. And then they put up a power plant, coal-fired, 4,600 megawatts in that place. The Tata Group then also came and put up another second power plant, another 4,600 megawatts, a total of 9,200 megawatts of power in that same spot only. Not only that, they also built a railway line, 100 kilometers, to connect that port to the major railway network. A sleeping village of 5,000 people mushroomed to become a town of 200,000 people, as many industries rushed to go and invest in that place. They also built an airport in that same place. This was a real success story of a PPP. Then also the Bombay airport, which had been fly-infested international airport. When it was given through PPP, they took it over and converted it into a very modern, first-class airport today, it is today. The same thing with the airport in Delhi. So what I'm trying to say is that we've seen firsthand what some of these companies are able to do, what PPP can do to an economy. And therefore what I'm trying to say is not to try to ostracize PPP as a concept. It's a concept that has worked very well around the world. And I'm only saying that there needs to be transparency in dealing with these issues. Otherwise, you're likely to try to condemn very reputable companies. As we see stories like Adani Gate. Adani company conglomerate is worth over $200 billion. It cannot be an Adani Gate. Deal with the issues as they are. If some people have made mistakes, let them own up that they made some mistakes. But do not begin to condemn innocent companies who are basically doing normal commercial transactions.
And Kenyans were asking why? Why did he have to? Why did he have to? That is a context I want to tell you. He's part of embracing the Ruto regime. And I want to make us these observations. When you do the other part, when I'm telling about it, I will expound more. The other one is regarding impeachment has been facilitated by Raila's numbers in the legislature. Yes. Now, if Raila loses Gen Z, two constituencies are celebrating. Number one are the Gen Z. They've been saying Raila betrayed us. The Gen Z are celebrating. We'll celebrate Raila loss. The other constituency is Rigathi Gachagua constituency. If you look at, go check Wahome Thuku, and bloggers alike towards the deputy president, you will see them saying the friends of Djibouti. So, after facilitating this impeachment, there seemed to be that constituency. There's a constituency being plucked from Raila Odinga. That Gen Z is being plucked, and Rigathi constituency, which is predominantly the Gema side, being plucked from Raila Odinga. In fact, even not even those many MPs are talking about it. So you see you see the way, and I'm telling you this so that you see how the ground is being prepared. Raila supported Adani. Yeah, and you can say he's played the soundbite. So hata akipoteza watu wasema, hey, si unaona amekuwa kimsupport. The other one, ODM MPs, look at this three by the way, look at this interesting one. ODM MPs are now are being carried with the president's jet. Recently on Sunday, when the president was in Moiben, Homa Bay MP Peter Kaluma and Migori Senator Eddie Okech arrived with the presidential jet. So they've been given, personal fortunes and the trappings of the state. They've all been put under the president. These fellows, the president is fattening ODM MPs. They're the ones that were taken to court. They were the ones that were leading in the regarding litigation in the National Assembly, in the Senate, the agendas. They're getting money. Someone should not tell you that Rengo yesterday was with Murkomen. Someone should not tell you that those people are doing pro bono. They've been fattened. Now, the other development is about that, the 7-year term by UDA. Now, what am I saying? Those three, impeachment, which is setting him, either to get the constituents agencies, also feeling about it, the ODM MPs, and the Danny Day. Now, that is already preparing ground that if Raila, that election is done today and Raila loses, Ruto has many people that will say, Tawa. Yeah? And so that betrayal might not be read. Look at this. After the launch in Nairobi in August, there is another launch being planned in Addis Ababa. Now, the state is planning 2 launches. They have launched a website. I'm yet to see that website. Okay, but it's there, not that it's there. It's there, that has translated his manifesto to 6 languages in Africa. 6 huge languages in Africa, which is, of course, is the right thing. Now, they planned the launch in August. They're planning another launch in Addis Ababa, which is supposed to be in January. So, why launches? They're planning launches because those are conduits of absorbing money, spending the confidential budget set up for that campaign. But should we spend money on launchings, or we should be seeing Raila campaigning around? Let me tell you, Ruto's new plan on plotting that downfall is something that I don't know why, not why, but it's something that is well anchored on 2027 politics. And this is it. What thing the president would want is to keep Raila under his mercies for 2027. Because when the rubber meets the road, William Ruto will have to give Raila everything, heaven and earth, to become president in 2027. The country is unhappy. The urban population is unhappy. The civic education is overriding tribal machinations and tribal euphorias. And regarding impeachment is already antagonizing a section of the voters in the country. What does that mean? Well, he means with Raila Odinga to sanitize the regime and give him the Western access. So contrary to what people have been viewing, that Ruto wants Raila to go to AU, then there will be a vacuum. There is no guarantee that if Raila goes to AU, the Nyanza vote goes to William Ruto. There is no guarantee. There is no guarantee. He'd rather be here, so that Raila will be the person to campaign for him in the Western axis. Now that brings me to the second bit that is just tied to that. If Raila is to make an exit, I want to agree with Jeremiah Kioni that if Musalia Mudavadi was to tread careful and tread well and be in the limelight and package himself well after Raila going to AU, if he was to go, which I don't believe he's going, he will stand a better chance to actually inherit Raila constituency. In fact, he's the one that has been standing a better chance. Then the two calculations zake hazijaingia, but stands a better chance. William Ruto will want Raila here, not in Addis Ababa, because it will be used as the pawn to suppress resistance. Look at things happening. You know, as we speak, just 2 months ago, over hundreds of Kenyans were abducted, disappeared, and only their dead bodies to be found in thickets, bushes, in their houses after the Gen Z protest. Now, as we speak, the country, I saw yesterday Enoch Wambua and Sifuna raising in Senate about the disappearance of Aoko. Yes, even though personally I don't support Aoko, so I don't want to discuss her. I don't think I should go there. But there are the possibility of another protest in 2025 is there. I can tell you for sure. We'll have another finance bill, and we've had, I think the president is not relaxing it. So it could still be a pawn to suppress that resistance. In fact, let me tell you, you hear ODM saying, we are not in it for positions, we are supporting the president. That's not it. I don't believe Raila Odinga is steadying the government ship. He is not. What the country needs is the review and relaxation of those policies. If the country and the population must not be right, but if the experts outside government are also reading some inconsistencies in Adani deal, and only call Raila to sanitize it, then Raila is not helping Ruto if he cannot face Ruto and tell Ruto, this policy, naona hii haiko sawa. Now, if he's not steadying government, if there are these disappearances and abductions, and he can't face the state and tell them, this one you are getting wrong. Because there's something that is wrong. We cannot have disappearances and kidnappings. And lastly, I may be wrong on this. Ruto can plant Raila Odinga on 2027 ballot. Take that. I slowly reconcile with those who say Raila never wanted to be president. I believe so. I personally believe that. Now, that's my opinion. I believe so. So he can still be planted in the 2027 ballot if his presence in ballot is going to serve a political equation for the president. That can be done deliberately, or William Ruto can engineer breakup so that Raila goes to the ballot and then he crafts a political narrative around it. Ladies and gentlemen, so you can tell me, do you see Raila going to AUC? Personally, if you ask me, I don't see. And I've been consistently saying, I don't believe, I am not seeing Ruto's viciousness. The kind of viciousness on Rigathi Gachagua impeachment. I'm not seeing energy on Raila Odinga's campaign. Thank you.